Hello. 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 I am Batman. I have watched them. I have watched them all. I have receipts to prove it. I know more. More than you. About Batman. Batman movies. Because I've seen them all. Mostly all of them. Yeah, things happen. But you get my thoughts now. We will find the optimal Batman movie. Not the best, the optimal. Which I guess is the best, but we got the first Batman movie was the one made in 1966. I didn't know whether to count this one. Technically speaking, it's like a movie which is part of the TV show because it's based on a TV show. Yeah, there was an old Batman TV show. You know the deal. Adam West as Batman and Burt Ward as Robin. Now, I can't really make a comment on both of them because they're literally just known for playing Batman and Robin. I'd be lying to say otherwise. In fact, by the way, spoilers. I'm very organized. Spoilers for all these movies. These ones. Yeah, but if we look at the cast of Batman 1966, I can't comment on it because, to be frank, I'm not old. So yeah, not my problem. Yeah. But you know what? We're gonna get into the good ones because we're just gonna kind of skip this one and go straight to the 1989 Batman movie called Batman. Now, this one actually stars some people I do know. Most notably, actually no, not most notably. We've got Batman being played by Michael Keaton. Now I know Michael Keaton mostly from his cameo in Morbius and playing a drug addict in that TV show. So I was really shocked to find out he wasn't always bald and he had a perm. It took a bit of time to get past that one. It scared me. But next, we got Jack Nicholson as the Joker, who's I feel for a while there, until later ones came out, he was the Joker, because I don't know, I think he got a lot of praise. Again, I'm not old. I watched all these movies, but I'm not a boomer, so I don't care about Jack Nicholson. My thoughts on this movie, it was, what did I give it on Letterboxd? What did I say? What did I say? Oh, by the way, my rating of, so my rating of the 1966 one was 3 stars. My rating of the 1989 one was also 3 stars. So, as you can tell, my ratings are very informative. Facts. Oh, that's a fun little review of the 1966 one. Yeah. If I had to comment, it's a Batman movie. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that it's serious, because it's not, is it? It's not. But what I am gonna say, and we're gonna be doing this from now on, is I will be placing all of these Batmen onto an axis. Or what is it? An axis? A Cartesian plane? I don't know. Math words. X-axis goes from submissive to dominant. Y-axis, oh, you saw nothing. y-axis goes from infertile to breedable. We are going to be seeing which Batman are submissive and breedable. Batman 1966. This is the true center Batman. Like, okay, so first thing, in Batman 1966, we've got the presence of Robin. Now, like, you're gonna come at me and be like, oh, Robin's Batman's child or whatever. I don't know. Like, I have read the Praxis. I have read. But you gotta face it at some point. I mean, having like this older man go and basically adopt this late teenager, sugar daddy him, and then like just go. That's like, if you're looking at that and going, this is 100% straight, I think you've got a problem. But that becomes a problem later. But anyway, the point is, Batman is the ultimate verse. And when I look at Batman 1966, I can't tell if it's just like chaste or horny. It's broken. It's broken my Madonna whore complex. But then, Michael Keaton's Batman, let's save it because he's got another movie. He comes back in Batman Returns, and Batman Returns is the superior Michael Keaton. The movie's directed by Tim Burton too. Unproblematic King. Yeah, that's just a comment. But no, they return in the superior movie Batman Returns. Why do I think this is superior? So we had Jack Nicholson as the villain in this first one, yeah? And like, you know, here's none of my business. But you know who we got as villains in Batman Returns? We have Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito as Penguin. And like, I don't know, I think it's funny. I'm a fan. And Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. And we love to see a girl boss. Michelle Pfeiffer wears that catsuit and just kind of walks all over Batman Returns. Oh, and also Christopher Walken shows up in that movie. You know, maybe I just think it's a little bit dull. Like, this goes for both of the Michael Keaton ones. No, not a fan. Well, okay. But if I had to see how submissive and breedable, I'd have to go. And this might be brave to say, but Michael Keaton's Batman is definitely submissive. And I think definitely, no, it's submissive infertile. Like, he's so obviously, how do I put this? Getting pegged by Catwoman and, yeah, that's all I can say. And Vicky Vale, in the previous movie, like, he's got a mummy kink, but it's not gonna really accomplish much. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Next, time for my brave opinions. We have the movies directed by Joel Schumacher. I personally think that Joel Schumacher is the legend of the Batman series in complete in complete honesty. Yeah, Joel Schumacher, legend. Why? Let me just get the quote for you. Let me find the quote. Now, here is the interaction. This is an interview. Have you ever guessed the number of partners you've had? It would be in the double-digit thousands, but that is not unusual. Double-digit thousands? You mean like 2,000 or 3,000? That's not double digits, that's single digits. Oh, so 20,000 or 30,000, somewhere in there. Yeah, or 10 or 20. He fucked. That is what this movie is. It is him being a legend. So I have to say, if you don't like this movie, you're probably an incel. And it actually holds out. Like, if you think that your favorite Batman movie is The Dark Knight, you're probably an incel. Okay, the problem that people have with Joel Schumacher's two Batman movies, well, let's go in detail. Okay. So, Batman Forever is the next one, which, like, already better name. But that stars Val Kilmer, as Batman. Nicole Kidman's in this movie. Jim Carrey's in this movie. Tommy Lee Jones. Drew Barrymore. But perhaps most notably, we've got the return of Robin. Now this Robin is absolutely like Batman's little sugar baby. That is, I can confirm for like a fact, and I'm not the first person to say this, but I'm the person who's gonna say it the best. Yeah, I might be alone. Okay, so we get a lot of people that don't really like this movie. Like, it's sitting at a great 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. With the byline, loud, excessively busy, and often boring, Batman Forever nonetheless has the charisma of Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones to offer mild relief. Okay, so these people, their problem is they don't like fun, and they don't like, a certain, group of people. Yeah, if you don't like the movie, it's homophobia. That's exactly right. Now, it's not even Joel Schumacher's best work. His best work comes in the next movie, which is simply titled Batman and Robin. Now, this is where I'm going to get a bit brave, because this one, if we look at the Rotten Tomatoes, is sitting at a 12%, saying, Joel Schumacher's tongue-in-cheek attitude hits an unbearable limit in Batman and Robin, resulting in a frantic and mindless movie that's too jokey to care much for. So, where would you know this movie? You may know it from the concept of batnips, as they're affectionately called. Because what Joel Schumacher did is he put some nipples on the Batman and Robin suits. If the first Batman movie he made was gay, this is somehow like ultra gay. It's a masterpiece though. Let's read out the supporting cast in this movie. So, firstly, we have Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. Oh, now George Clooney's Batman. George Clooney. So yeah, it kind of felt like a bit of an espresso ad while watching this. No, this is where I want to introduce not my main idea. I have too many ideas to have a main idea. But my idea is that, Batman movies kind of reflect the, like, political situation of the time they're made in. And that's not new. But I think this movie is particularly about the AIDS epidemic. And I know you're going, what? How? Okay, so we got someone who's being seen as the villain, trying to save their terminally ill wife from a disease, that I'm pretty sure, what is the disease? you see, it's not even a real disease. It's something called McGregor's syndrome. Yeah, when you, like, someone who is trying to save their lover from a disease that is killing them slowly and that they feel that no one else is doing anything about. Well, here's the thing. Schumacher was a promiscuous man growing up during the AIDS epidemic. He knew people who died in it. And yes, by 1997, it was still happening, and it still was not getting the response it needed. Almost enough to drive someone on a rampage, I guess. I don't know. It gets a bit weird. But the point is, this movie is about the AIDS epidemic. And then also, if we go further and see McGregor syndrome as like HIV or AIDS, Alfred catches it, which, like, yeah. But Alfred catches it, and then at the end of the movie, what they do is they like Mr. Freeze. They're like, we understand you, Arnold. You're fine. We're gonna let you continue your research. If you help us cure, because he's developed a cure for the early stages of McGregor syndrome, so they help cure Alfred and then let him continue to research on McGregor syndrome and find out, like, how to cure it. So yeah, it's all about AIDS, and not even in a funny way, just in a way. People didn't like this movie because they thought it was just trying to sell toys. I think they don't like this movie because it's camp. This is what camp is. Like, we always talk about camp. We saw the Met Gala camp. If someone showed up in a suit with like plastic, like a rubber suit with like built-in nipples, that is camp. People need to work out what an aesthetic is. It wasn't trying to be a Tim Burton Batman movie where it was all serious and ooh. No, it was trying to be fun, gay, camp movie. He was sliding in his agenda. They talk about the gay agenda. This is the gay agenda. It is Batman and Robin, 1997. But anyway, yeah, people hated this movie, so we didn't really get another Batman movie for a while. Unless you're me, in which case you did. Oh, also, yeah, we'll catch up on the ratings. So, I rated Batman Forever and Batman and Robin 4 stars each. Yeah. You know what? These are higher than my usual ratings, so I don't want the judgment. They're both 4-star movies. Then we had a nice little break of 10 years? 10 years? 10 years. 10 years. 10 years? 8 years. And we see the reintroduction by a certain man known as Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan, you may know him from being the person who's going to release the second best movie on July 19th. Is it July 19th? Oh, he's going to be the second best person to release a movie on July 21st, actually. And his whole thing, his spiel to me comes across as he always shoots on film. He's always a practical effect guy, no CGI. He's all about like that aesthetic. But as far as Batman movies go, it's like some of the most boring aesthetic choices I've ever seen. It's like everything looks the same. It's got no emotion. You're not doing anything for me, Chris. Like, help me out. Help me. Okay, so this one, we see the introduction of Christian Bale as Batman. I have a problem with Christian Bale. That problem is I look at Batman and I see Patrick Bateman. And I just see Patrick Bateman walking around like, oh, I've got my Batarang now. Yeah. So no, it's a bit of a problem. It takes me out of it, and it's really my problem. It's not, okay, I don't have a problem with Patrick, I call him Patrick Bateman. Christian Bale. I have a problem. Well, no, Christian Bale has a problem with me. But other people we have are Michael Caine as Alfred. Sir Michael Caine, actually. Liam Neeson. Gary Oldman. What's his name? Cillian Murphy? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see.
Killian Murphy. Killian Murphy.
Oh, Morgan Freeman, I guess. Yeah. Now, I just didn't like this movie. And maybe it's a me problem, but also maybe it's not. And okay, if I had to go into it like a bit deeper, so in the same way that I think that Batman and Robin was about AIDS, the Christopher Nolan trilogy is all about terrorism. But it's written in such a way where it's just like maybe I just don't like Chris Nolan's like opinions on terrorism, or his presentation at least. Highlights of the movie: Killian Murphy was good in it as like Demon Twink. That was quite. It was appreciated. Yeah, it was appreciated. Other than that, though, like I don't like the reworks. I thought the Ra's al Ghul thing was like corny. It could be better. Um. Now, okay, here's my wait. That one, Batman Begins. I rated that a 3-star on Letterboxd, and oh, I wrote something down. Oh no, I've already said that. Well, it's the next one to come out, and yeah, this one, people go, it's the best Batman movie ever, and I go, you're boring, get your own opinion. It's The Dark Knight. Oh, okay, so no, admittedly, this movie, like, Heath Ledger does do a great performance. It's a great performance. Other than that, how's the story? I just don't think the story's very good. Like, I don't know, and it's the whole Joker culture, like the Joker culture, and like the Joker quotes. What is it? It's not about the why so serious and all of that. What other ones do we have? Oh no, it's not about the money. It's about sending the message. It's like, no. Yes, and this movie. This is the start of when the Joker became an icon for incels. Because it kind of goes. So, whoever the first guy is, we don't care about because it's irrelevant. It's in the 60s. Then we go Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson, like, he's not very incelly. So we're fine. Spike. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's through the roof. Okay. And then after that, like, Jared Leto brings it back down. Why? Just cause. And then it goes right back up when Joaquin Phoenix enters the scene. So yeah, that's the little like line chart. But yeah, I don't know. And it's like, cool, you blew up a building, Christopher Nolan. Did you give your characters some like good dialogue? Like, I feel like the special effects are the least of your worries. Like, work it out. Yeah. Dark Knight Dark Knight Rises comes out too. Oh, wait. I know I am bagging on the Dark Knight. I still gave it a 3.5 stars. What does that make me? Odd. What did I say? I said it was overrated because it is overrated. You're trying to tell me that this is, what is it? You're trying to tell me this is the 26th best film of all time. Nah, I call bull. Not on. Yeah. But then we have, Dark Knight Rises. Okay. Let's see. This one, like, I gave it a 3 stars. It's very Chris Nolan. We got Anne Hathaway in this movie. But as you may know, I've been scarred for life by a certain scene in Brokeback Mountain. True story. And then there's Tom Hardy, who I've been scarred for life because of his other comments. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this movie, but it's kind of just to show how afraid Chris Nolan is of Robin. And I think that's the worst thing. Ever since the 1966 Batman movie and TV show, we've been afraid of live action Robins. Well, firstly, the problem is everyone called him gay, and we can't have that in our Batman movie. Not on. And then there's the second point where it's kind of hard to show like a 12-year-old how he originally is, like just going out with Batman and beating, because people are like, I want Batman to be dark. And then the problem being, if you age him up like Schumacher did, it has that obviously homoerotic undertone. So it's a bit hard, but I think just do it. Just give me a little 14-year-old going psycho. Stranger Things is popular. You can do it with Robin. Yeah. But no, because like they do at the end of the movie, they find out that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's real name is actually Robin. Like the first name is Robin, and I'm like, ha ha ha. No. So yeah, my comments on this movie, Ra's al Ghul returns, all that stuff, Scarecrow back. I just think it could be better. I think all of them could be better. Like, at the end, it comes down to, like, Chris Nolan, you did a good job blowing something up, but maybe you should have focused on the could, or not the could, or the should, rather than the could. Like, just because you can do something doesn't mean you need to. Anyway, Dark Knight Rises comes out. We got a bit of a break. I'm going to just gloss over Ben Affleck. Well, they killed Robin in this movie, like, before it even happened. So that's proving my fear. Like, people are afraid of showing Robin. Maybe I want to see Robin. Do it for me. Please. And what? He's got a gun in that movie. He fights Superman. It's not a real Batman movie in my book. So we're gonna ignore it and come to the best Batman movie, the most new one, The Batman. And you know why I like this? Because it's anti-incel. We've got them realizing the damage they've done with the Joker and the Dark Knight and going, oh my god, we got incels. So they have Paul Dano playing the famous incel, the Riddler. And they're kind of showing the Batman as a bit of an incel too. But Robert Pattinson plays Batman really well here. Zoe Kravitz plays Catwoman. Yeah, she plays all of them. All the Catwomen. Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Guy from Severance. Andy Serkis, Peter Sarsgaard. He's like one of the smaller Sarsgaards. He's like the indie Sarsgaard. No, they're all the indie Sarsgaard. And Colin Farrell. Bellissimo, other Italy. Yeah, I thought this was the best movie. I gave it a 4.5 stars on Letterboxd, and let me just run through the points on my review. Okay, and I compared it to The Dark Knight because, like, you know, these incels love The Dark Knight. I think he directs it a lot more interestingly with emotion, whereas, like, Chris Nolan just kind of goes, look at my explosion, look at how cool my real car flipping over is or something. Like, it feels kind of emotionless. It feels very corporate. That's what Chris Nolan feels like. He feels very corporate. And I think that's just his style. That being said, I am still going to go see Oppenheimer in IMAX. So that says a lot more about me than it does about him. And then I think, yeah, we just give, in this Batman movie, there's a lot more chances for the, like, actors to shine than in, like, The Dark Knight. Like, I don't know. Just to prove I'm not anti The Dark Knight, though, I've got to say, it's a toss-up between Gary Oldman and, Jeffrey Wright for which Gordon I prefer. I feel like I'm tilting towards... Actually, yeah, I don't know. But I prefer Serkis as Alfred. And I just think the political commentary here, maybe it's just the fact it's more relevant because it's a newer movie, but I think it's a lot better. And I know, maybe I'm not allowed to call things better, but it's better. Um, my one problem is that all Batman movies kind of dip into a bit of propaganda. I want to say this one does it more so than others. Because we kind of, like, there are times in the movie where it's like, we've got Batman going, "You're a good cop," or there's this scene where it's like, "Oh my god, look at how many cops aren't corrupt in this city," and it's like, that kind of goes against the point. Like, when I'm saying I watched the Batman movies, I watched the Batman movies. I watched Batman Year One, and that one did a lot better job. Where, like, sure, they were still showing Commissioner Gordon as a good cop, but he was literally the only good cop. All of the rest were corrupt in some way or another. I'm going, maybe that's better. Maybe we got to show there's a bit of, because that's what Batman's really about. The problem is he's a bit of he's a contradiction in this world where he kind of goes, "I'm not going to kill anyone, and I'm just here to hold up justice." So they'll go through like the normal system, so like the police system, the judicial system. But then when we're kind of going in the modern world, do we really believe that the judicial system is fair? Not really. Maybe we need a symbol of Batman for justice, which kind of goes against the police a bit more, but not in like a killing way. He's not going to go kill, but like, get my point. I don't know. It's still a good movie. Now we're gonna do a flash round where I just go through like all the other Batman movies I've seen. I'm not gonna count Justice League movies and stuff like that. I watched Son of Batman. Son of Batman. My comment was Croc had the munchies because that is a real line in that movie. That's 2.5 stars. Batman versus Robin. I liked that movie. That one I rated 3 stars. It was kind of fun, just seeing like this kid. I mean, it was a bit of a clickbait title, but you get that from movies. Batman Bad Blood. That one I also kind of liked. We had the whole Bat fam in that movie, if you will. I rated that one 2.5 stars too. Batman the Killing Joke. I rated 2.5 stars because it's a really fun story. I didn't think it was the best presentation. Batman Hush. I rated 3 stars. And that feels like a fair score for that movie. Like, I don't know what to say about that. Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons. I rated 2.5 stars. But you know what? It still was entertaining. I don't like the art style. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, I don't like the art style. The Lego Batman movie is an easy 4 stars. Especially after seeing like all the Batman movies. This was a fun one. It was fun. It was fun. It was silly. It was goofy. Yeah, that's my only comment on that movie. Uh, and Batman Year One, I rated 3 stars because like it could still be better. It could be better. Like, I don't know, but yeah. Actually, you know what? We're gonna be ranking. We're not ranking. We're gonna be submissive breeder bullying the Batman right now. Let me open up a paint thing. Just so I can keep track. So, submissive and breedable. Now, the Adam West, I decided was the true middle. You know, because like you look at him and you're like, were you made to be horny or chaste? And you look at him. Oh, actually, you know what? He's a bit more on the dominant side, just because of the weird, like the classic portrayal of Robin. So he's a bit more dominant. Michael Keaton is infertile and submissive. Like, we're going all the way in the corner. Val Kilmer, he felt more breedable but still submissive. Like he was. You had to be there though. You had to be there. I think specifically it had to do with Nicole Kidman, like the way their relationships portrayed. Also But then we got George Clooney. Fun fact: George Clooney said he was playing Batman as gay in that movie. I just thought that was interesting, but he felt more dominant, but still like not fully dominant, but like kind of dominant and kind of fertile or breedable, if you will. Next Batman we have is Chris Nolan's. You say he's trying to be dominant, but is so incredibly infertile, it just doesn't work. Ben Affleck, you see he's got mummy issues, so he's a bit submissive, but he's like right in the middle of, he's slightly infertile because he's got mummy issues. And then Matt Reeves, we see, he's like quite submissive, but infinitely like usually it's his relationship with Catwoman. You kind of go and it's like a reclusive twink. That's all Robert Pattinson is. Yeah, so that's where they are on this chart. Now, if I had to design the next Batman movie, you know what I'd do? I'm just gonna skip the middleman, and I'm gonna kill Batman. Which one? Who's gonna play Batman in this movie? I think I want Ian McKellen. We're going to have Ian McKellen playing Batman in this movie. He's gonna be Ian McKellen's gonna die. Fighting. He's gonna be crime fighting and just die. But he's gonna like beat the villains and then have like a heart attack. And that's when we're gonna introduce a 19-year-old Robin. Played by, I think we'll either discover new talent or we're gonna get someone like, we're gonna get Timothy Chalamet. And he's gonna play like a 22-year-old Robin, who like this Ian McKellen was like fucking beforehand. And the whole plot of the movie is, I'm gonna call it like Batman the Contract. And so like Bruce Wayne, Ian McKellen is gonna have written Timothy Chalamet Robin into the will, but only if he goes and like fights crime. So we're basically gonna have this movie where we have like the sugar baby has to take up the Batman mantle. He was like he was called Robin, but he didn't really crime fight. That was just like, you know what he was called in bed. So yeah, and he's gonna have to go fight and train if he wants to claim his billions. Of course, this isn't like open to the public. It's just like for it. Yeah. No, that's the plot of the movie. And villains in this movie, we're gonna have Jennifer Coolidge as a villain. Jennifer Coolidge will be playing Poison Ivy, giving everyone a big smooch on the lips. And we're gonna ignore the Joker and the Riddler and Penguin. We're gonna bring back all the other Batmen, every single one of them, and they're gonna play the Court of Owls. That's the plot of the movie. They're gonna play the Court of Owls in this movie. You know, like they're in charge of everything, and they're watching this young little Batman go around, Timothy Chalamet, and basically maybe they were responsible for the heart attack somehow. You know, maybe they sent his blood pressure through the roof. I think that would instantly be a better movie than at least half of the movies I've watched. Other thoughts. The reason I made this, because I heard some bitches talking about me. I heard some people, they were talking about me. They were talking behind my back, being like, oh my god, he said The Dark Knight wasn't good. It's not good. The Dark Knight is not a good movie. Grow up, incel. Go out, meet some people, realize the Joker is not your baby. Yeah, that's what I meant. Um, Joker 2 in cinemas soon, starring Lady Gaga. Yeah. Don't I have such a nice smile? Um, I don't know who the target audience is for this, but yeah. I am vengeance. Holy Batman. Batman?